Panthera, these guys look very comfortable. They're ready to go for a game too. Eager, on the other hand, I don't necessarily see the same thing on their faces. DJ looks like he's trying to figure out something to do as far as the pick ban strategy is concerned. Like we both mentioned, that was pretty much the dream composition if you're eager.
Yeah.
Do you change it?
I mean, you could. No, you don't. There was nothing wrong with the draft there. Just really bad misplays throughout the game. Getting rid of Thor. So Panthera here is second pick, which means they can actually draft for maybe something strategy oriented. Or maybe actually I'm wrong here. They opted for a first pick.
Yeah, Panthera go ahead and they're going to be the first pick, which means they also get first ban. Raijin is not going to be available for either team. And you can see Thor take it away as well. Panthera are going to stick to the same bans. Raijin and Susano were the two bans that we saw out of Panthera in game number 1. And Thor and Nemesis were the bans that we saw from Team Eager in game number 2. So both game 1 and game 2 feature the same first couple of bans. But the second bans usually differ a little bit. But Panthera, they've got the first pick this time around. I don't think they're going to go Sobek like we saw Eager do. Yeah. They're going to go out Kuang because of how successful it wound up being on adapting, even with him getting first blooded.
Yeah, so I think both teams have really interesting mindsets here. So Team Eager is probably thinking, okay, drafting was not a problem. Our Kuang wasn't the real problem. We had the lead, and we just kind of overextended on top of the lead. Panthera thinking, on the flip side, okay, well, adapting just carries with our Kuang. It doesn't really matter if we have a bad early game, as long as we get him rolling later. So I think both teams are just feeling like, okay, we can do this again.
Exactly.
And on Team Eager, in Team Eager's case, it's okay, we can do this again, but better.
I completely agree. I think that Eager sticks to exactly what they had before. But Team Eager doesn't. Zeus will be the mid lane, and Kumbhakarna will be the selection for the support. So a little bit of a different take on what they had before. We saw the Awilish Sobek, that's their bread and butter. We've seen a lot of success out of that. But Aror plays a fantastic Kumbha, and TheBest, his Zeus, is also top-notch. I think the Scylla is really the god that Best made a name for himself on. But when Best has Scylla in his hands, he can be absolutely devastating.
So you mentioned the taunt by middle late game, but you know, Sobek and Awilish, he had the Sanctuary available.
Yep.
They pulled him in after he backflipped, and he actually didn't die that fight, you know. So that combination against a really good mechanical team, and you know, if they know the win condition for Team Eager is find someone off guard with that combination, they're not really gonna give it away that easy. We didn't really find that many kills that game. We didn't see any real big plays coming out of that combination. So I think Team Eager should opt for something a little bit easier to execute, especially towards the mid game, so they don't do the same mistakes again.
And that's exactly what we see. Kumbhakarna is very easy to set anything up with.
Yeah, he's gonna peel our Kuang away from the Zeus for sure. He's just looking to, you know, disrupt our Kuang, making sure he can't get his dragons off. And because if he actually gets on top of Zeus, Zeus has no real answer to a Kuang other than damage. And sometimes he will just die before he can even detonate, you know?
Hou-Yi is going to be the selection for the Hunter on Team Eager. Zapman is one of the best, and Hou-Yi is definitely a character that you want to put in the hands of a Hunter that knows exactly what he's doing. Late game, Mark of the Crow becomes such a powerful tool just to allow those basics to hit a lot harder, so Zapman should be very successful with the Hou-Yi. And also, the Suns, the ultimate, is very similar to what we saw out of the Cupid ultimate last time around, so a lot of similarities between Hou-Yi and Cupid.
A lot of AoE on the side of Team Eager with the Zeus ultimate and the Hou-Yi. I love the Neith and a Kuang combination of Panthera again, because the Neith ultimate, if it actually lands on someone without beads, and our Kuang gets to just pound you with that short sword he has, he's just gonna ult you by the time the stun is over.
Love the two bans coming out right now. Team Eager take Guan Yu off the table. He's just a little bit too strong when it comes to these extended team fights. And even though Zeus looking for the quick burst, you never know what you're going to be given. Serket, on the other hand, taken away by Panthera. That's one of DJ's better gods. He's able to get in, get out, and be very mobile.
Very good god on djpernicus too. I think they just want to make sure that Kuang doesn't have anyone on here on Team Eager that can, you know, just ultimate Kuang, disrupt him. On top of that, just a Zeus ultimate or whatever, and it can be, you know, a fast death for Kuang.
Fenrir works very well with Zeus. Specifically for Team Eager, we've seen this combination a number of times, Fenrir together with Zeus. In fact, I think a lot of people at home might have thought that in place of that Hou-Yi would have been a Fenrir pick. But we see the difference, the switch up. And now Arachne being thought about and locked in. So this is a god that we've seen a handful of times, usually by the guys on Enemy. Verizial likes to play Arachne here and there. Not so much djpernicus that we've seen. So this is something new, specifically brought out for LAN.
So we know djpernicus likes to engage. He can still do that on Arachne. And we'll see how it goes here. We haven't, as I said, especially in Europe, I don't think we've seen Arachne played a single time. Maybe we have, I might be wrong on that, but not many times. So, interesting combination here about Team Eager. They're looking for the early game again.
Bellona locked in for the Soul lane. Just a good old-fashioned Bellona, nothing too crazy, as well as Apollo. That should be a strong pick as well, and I think this time we see the Neith in the mid lane.
Probably, I don't see a reason why you put Apollo in mid. Probably it's Yammyn again, and the combination with Kuang is actually really strong. As I just mentioned, if you get the stun off, it's a guaranteed damage from Kuang,
yep.
And the root also kind of sets up for him. So I love that Yammyn is playing hunters in mid lane, kind of switching it up from the traditional guys you see there.
Yeah, this is something that Yammyn is really known for. Bringing these hunters into the mid lane. Everybody really likes to play the mages, but I do want to make it known that Chiron and Neith, these are the ability-based hunters. These are the gods that aren't really reliant on the basic attacks. They're reliant on their abilities. So in that case, these gods are sort of like magical hunter or physical mages.
Yeah, physical mages is one way to put it. Apollo, though, is going to look to push the lane a little bit more.
Yeah.
Huyi on Zapman means, you saw last game, Zapman really liked to fight. So I expect him to just keep fighting emiltoo, trying to find those kills. Maybe we'll see another trade kill.
Sun Wukong will be the selection for Team Eager. This is one of Divios' stronger gods. In fact, when he was on Team Solo Mid, they won the world champion, or they did very, very well, and they made a god that looked like it's the TSM. Sun Wukong is actually Divios' choice. So the best will take on Yammyn. And one more time, we see Zeus, we see a mage, and he'll be going head-to-head against a hunter. And Bacchus makes his second game in a row. iRaffer with the appearance of the king.
That's why they ban out the Guan Yu, because Guan Yu pretty much makes Divios on Wukong's poke not really do anything. It kind of cancels it out. So they want to make sure there has no sustain for Panthera to make that poke basically useless.
Divios is going to start Mark of the Vanguard this time around, unlike iRaffer, who bought it third item. He's going to go ahead and start it here. That should allow some of the poke from Bellona to be mitigated. But more importantly, since Sun Wukong is looking for the poke, the archers are going to start attacking him a lot.
Yeah. It's a big deal against archers, especially if it's going in with the boar, just the ox, just to get the knockups, or trying to stun with the cat. Usually you get a lot of aggro, and that Mark of the Vanguard really works during the early game.
So that'll work out very strongly for the solo laner. djpernicus is going to go red pot. So a lot of power on this Arachne, which is certainly the interesting, spicy choice. Neith made it something that we've seen for a long time, but this jungle Arachne, we've seen it here and there. This character is interesting. It does a lot of damage, but it also provides a lot of CC.
It also mixes up the early game here for the team who has Arachne a very, very, very fast clear, which means you're going to get the lane even faster. Maybe we'll see Divios actually follow her to the mid camps this time.
Might be possible. I'm very interested to see how this changes things, because we saw the invade come out from Eager, and that sort of was the vibe for the entirety of the early game. So DJ going to pick up the speed buff right here, and then we'll see where the team goes from there.
With such a strong early game from game one, if they don't actually find it here, I'm a little bit, interested to see what they're going to do if they don't have the lead. Maybe it will mean they're going to play a bit more conservative, and that might actually end up being good for Eager. So don't get over enthusiastic when doing this invades.
No invade coming out from the guys on Eager, but instead DJ will go directly to the mid Harpies instead of hanging out with the solo laner like we see so often.
Yeah, we've seen Panthera do this numerous times as well. Opts not to do it this time though. Dimi is gonna actually find two people in jungle if he rotates here to the left though. We see the Fire Giant being picked up here by Eager, the minions of course.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a good look. A lot of farm coming out for the guys on Eager, level 3 on the best already, as opposed to Neith, who just hits level 3 because of those left side mid camps as well. So everybody seems to find these little bits of farm here in the early game. Left side looking to fight just a little bit. Or we're going to get the root onto iRaffer, poke him down a little bit. No jump coming out from iRaffer as it's on cooldown for a couple of seconds. A good poke, and iRaffer already down to a quarter of HP.
Emiltoo trailing back, quite a bit of damage though. This is pretty much a rerun from we saw first game. They love to just poke out each other in the dual lane. And actually Eager has to push there, and they're going to keep having to push for quite some time, I believe, because Bacchus can't really leap in and use his abilities to clear the wave, because he will just find himself in an awful spot.
We mentioned a lot about the poke coming out from Divios' Sun Wukong, but Divios right now, the one to be seeming to be poked out, about 33% HP. He's going to be healing it up thanks to some potions, but they're all gone. Dimi still has 3 health pots, so a lot of strength coming out from Dimi in the solo lane.
djpernicus trying a little bit of a gank there on the right side, however his ward will spot him out. We see Dimi with very good ward control from game 1, and throughout the SPL he's very good at placing out the vision and realizes that that's the condition for him to win his lane.
There's iRaffer, just working to clear the wave, doesn't want to get too aggressive. And a little bit of poke onto Aror coming out from emiltoo on this Apollo.
Back and forth again. It's going to be interesting to see what the pace of this game is going to be. I think Eager wants to slow it down.
Yep.
because the last game we just got out of hand and adapting was everywhere. I think you just want to keep notes on where adapting is this game and just make sure he doesn't get those 9 kills, because if Kuang gets those 9 kills, it's very hard to deal with. You can't basically even react to his Swiss engagements.
So I mean, you said that Eager wants to see themselves slow down the game, and that makes sense because of the Zeus. But that seems quite the opposite if you're running Arachne, no?
Yeah, when I say slow down, I don't mean completely just farm for late game. I just mean make very calculated decisions based on your composition.
Dimi stunned out. This looks like a big rotation. There's 3 players here, and the Neith response is going to keep DJ at bay. So really, nothing of consequence here coming out for the gank on Bellona.
Very fast ultimate there coming out from Neith, just making sure that Dimi is not going to fall in the solo in here, because that would have easily meant a tower if Arachne is over there as well.
Zapman now level 5 as well. Everybody here outside of iRaffer level 5 will hit after these minions die, though.
Yeah. Otherwise, the pace of the game is relatively slow. We don't see any really good gank attempts. Just to incredible amount of wards on the map. Adapting is gonna spot these players out.
Yeah, Eager's very deep inside of Panthera's jungle.
Yeah, realizes he can't really fight the Arachne this early on in the game, especially not 100%. Basically the dot and the heal from Arachne will keep her up this early. Adapting really has, no damage to work with.
Yeah, Adapting wanted to stay relevant and try to find the blue buff. Not going to happen, though. Knock up onto the solo laner.
Good knock up there.
Divios is going to be fine. djpernicus, not so much. He's going to take a whole bunch of poke, half HP on the spider.
You see there, almost no damage coming out of Kuang. He really needs the items to get online. He was just doing like 30 damage something with each dragon, which won't really do anything. Again, Eager is doing a similar thing here where he'd like to invade the other jungle. Let's just hope they don't overextend this time.
Could be a little bit rough. Here, Panthera. They're going to be the ones invading this time around. emiltoo steals the red buff away from their opponent. And now 3 players on Panthera on the left-hand side. The Europeans have a good lead coming out here as far as the momentum is concerned. Eager technically has more gold, but all things are even here. But like I said, the momentum feels a little bit more Panthera's game. We saw what happened in game number 1. Now Panthera is the team that's invading.
Good call there to, aggress on that war from Eager's side, because they knew that Arachne was going to be on the right side of the map. So, the call came out, okay, emiltoo, iRaffer, we're going to take this, just follow me, and Adapting is kind of leading them there. Because if Arachne is not there, they can't really fight it through onto you at this point.
So Adapting level 7. You mentioned before that Kuang's early game, really not the strongest.
No.
When does the early game go away, and when does Adapting start hitting it?
Right around level 12, 13 or so, when he has a bit more points in his abilities and actually gets some items online, he can start feeding himself. And especially if they have someone who can, poke down, like Yammyn, for example, he can just come in there with his stealth, make quick work of someone with the ultimate.
Divios going to go ahead and head back to base. Not just yet, waiting on it, sees the cooldown on his teleport. And he notes that there's a big difference between himself and his opponent. So that's going to trigger Eager to start the Gold Fury, but no commitment as iRaffer shows up. But keep that in mind. For the next minute, Divios will have a teleport available to him unless he opts to go to base. He's in base. Will he? Yes, he will teleport to lane. So this is dangerous now, because after a minute, you're going to have that rotation ability coming out from Bellona, and Divios will be hard locked into the lane. So if Panthera wants to make a power play on the left side towards that Gold Fury in a minute, it's going to be available.
We actually saw Eager getting the first Gold Fury last game. That was a little bit of an off play by Panthera, not really realizing they went for the Gold Fury at all.
Right.
So we're going to see them probably be a bit more cautious now, not give anything up for free, because that really could have spelled trouble if Eager didn't overextend later into the game.
Yeah, very hyper-aware. Like we said, that's why we saw the Eager stay away from the invade this time around. Didn't see as much from the aggression that we saw in game number 1, just because the cards have already been shown. Panthera know that it's coming now, and it's a little bit less effective without the element of surprise. There's a blink forward, Adapting now invisible, and you can see Eager trying to find him out. He will be found, half HP already. There's the ultimate out of Yammyn, and the up-down coming out, and Divios directly into his own ultimate. 0 kills on the board already, so whoever gets this first kill will be first blood. 500 gold bounty, and Eager going to play it safe, and iRaffer all by himself.
I can't quite decide if the ultimate went off from Kuang there, just to make sure he was going to keep himself safe, or if he missed time that Divios wasn't low enough for the execute.
Tough call. Divios now, very low, doesn't have the ultimate available to him. Gotta find the knock-up, and he does. Good juke coming out from those guys. And Dimi not gonna find the kill just yet.
Yeah, misses the ultimate. Much like we saw yesterday, OMG against Panthera. Very similar situation there, where Divios just like kind of backed away and just ox through him, making sure he's completely fine. But again, yeah, that was an interesting engagement earlier there. But you saw a Kuang almost doing no damage onto some Wukong. So again, we're gonna wait for 3-4 more levels on a Kuang, and we're really gonna see what you can do here.
Yeah, at that point, it really becomes more about the executions and the burst damage with the Polynomicon that we see adapting build later on, usually 4th item or so. iRaffer here, just waiting in the jungle, wanting to see if anybody from Eager shows up to farm this wave. But Zapman going to take the safe way behind his tower, all the way up back into the long lane.
I do believe this is a game where it's the slowest game so far in this entire tournament, I believe. It's been 8 minutes now without any kills on either side of the team. Both teams being very, very cautious. Eager realizing if they lose this one, being back 2-0 against the world champions, not really good spot you want to be in. So they're just going to, probably we're going to see like one of those games, you know, where both teams just farm, and then towards the late game, one big team fight, and you see a swing of like 8K gold.
I mean, that's similar to what we saw earlier on in game number 1. A little bit here and there, but basically a couple of engagements, and Eager found themselves up just a hair. And then Panthera all of a sudden won a team fight, and it went severely in their favor. So Eager trying to avoid that one this time. djpernicus, though, on this Arachne, this is an early game god. Shouldn't it be the opposite of what we're seeing right now?
Yeah, Arachne, so it's interesting. It could have been, so they are so confident in their late game on Eager side. They picked Arachne up to make sure they would not fall behind too much early mid game, having Arachne for the control. She's not that bad late game though. She's okay. She still has a stun. She still has, you know, the movement speed buff for ultimate. She can engage quite good on the backside. You still need to kind of peel her, because even though she's building tanky, her dot will do a lot of damage, and she can basically go full tank with some attack speed and chin size and still be a threat, and very sustainable. So we'll see. It's not really, she's not like she used to be after rework. She's actually, I think, a little bit better now towards the late game. Obviously much stronger than our Kuang early game, and our Kuang outscales her.
So djpernicus now going to start over here by the Gold Fury. Zone out just a little bit. Here's the perp from iRaffer, going to jump towards forward. This is going to be someone looking for a kill. Yi drops his ultimate. iRaffer drops one of his own, but the flank from adapting gets one. Best picks off iRaffer as well. DJ immediately goes into the sky, and emiltoo follows suit. Looking for Aror, changing to Zapman. There's the purification to avoid the mesmerize that doesn't even come.
So
djpernicus on the top side. Divios going to chase down the hunter, and the dash away from the other hunter as emiltoo joins Yammyn, but Dimi doesn't have the same luxury. 3 players from Eager surrounding him. Jumping away from the bludgeon is going to be Zapman. Ricochet not on the mark, and Dimi's going to find an exit stage right.
Very mechanical team fight there. You saw a lot of dodging and a lot of using abilities to counter other abilities. It ends up being Eager though, 1-4-0.
Divios here on the left-hand side, just going to farm up a little bit. 1-1, read the kills. Fantastic stuff coming out. Eager wind up getting one for themselves as well.
We see iRaffer go for the same build this game.
Yep.
As I did last time, he really likes the Mark of the Vanguard. Actually did quite a bit of work there. He actually stayed alive for longer than I expected, because, you know, each take of the Zeus, obviously a little bit of damage there, and the take from the Arachne, a little bit of damage. So he's taking a little bit of damage all across the board, stayed alive, and didn't quite manage to find any other picks though.
We've seen a number of players really go to these starter items as the game goes on. They're wildly gold efficient for a small boost. 800 gold. That's pretty much what they cost. djpernicus used to do this once upon a time in the regular season, and now we see iRaffer doing it here at LAN. And Panthera are going to start the Gold Fury this time around, though. Eager are well aware, and with 2 gigantic zoning ultimates could be trouble, but Eager a little bit too slow. Panthera show up, Gold Fury for free, and Eager on the aggression.
What a call there about Panthera. It went so fast. You know, as we talked about earlier before, 11-12, our Kuang really starting to shine.
Yammyn in some trouble. DJ and Divios not going to dive. emiltoo in some trouble. Best takes him out. iRaffer in some trouble. Drops the ultimate. There's the up, and there's the down. iRaffer falls down. djpernicus, credit for the kill on the support.
So, Gold Fury for 2 deaths. I'm not really sure that was worth it, especially now that if you can clear the jungle here and actually push up a lane.
Panthera's still in the lead, but by 300 means that this game is basically tied. Eager go ahead and grab 3 kills, and this is the difference. By taking the players off the board, getting 2 kills here, they don't spawn for another 5 seconds. This mid lane tower gets to be aggressed on, but everybody shows up. Dimi falls down. Best is doing very well. He died once early, and now he has 3 unanswered kills.
So that might have looked weird, but he actually saved the tower by doing so. Yeah. There's no tower kill on the side of Eager, so himself for tower, I would actually call it worth.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just 500 gold. It's a tier 1. Constantly we hear players say, don't defend the tier 1.
But this early into the game, it's only 12 minutes in. It's a lot of map control. And as you see here, no one's going to get the tower now. They're all backed out. I don't think Dimi is too worried. He actually ulted into the entire backline. If Dimi thought it wasn't worth it, he wouldn't have done it. There was nothing that forced his hand there. And I'm pretty sure Panthera was just saying, okay, that's okay. You died. Sure, the rest of us are up. And you're not dead for that long. It's very early.
It's about the mid lane as well. Had that engagement happened on the left side or the right side, I don't think we see Dimi defend that tower. The map control that the left and right side towers give is a lot less than the mid lane.
Exactly. Mid lane tower provides a lot of control because, you know, you kind of use it as it's basically your front line of your team. So if you have wards around the tower, you can really just like manage to have your side of the map controlled. And as you just said, mid lane tower very important for that.
Yeah, Gold, Fury, Fire Giant, even the various buff camps just allow you to find some safety. Without this tier 1 tower down, you don't have that Ali Oxenfree moment where, okay, I'm being cheeky, I'm looking at the Gold Fury, but now I'm safe under my tower. All of a sudden, there's so much distance between you and safety that it's just not worth it. So that defense from Dimi coming out there, like you said, it kind of seemed like, how'd you just jump up and down?
Yeah.
But by trading his life, he keeps a lot of options open for Panthera.
He could have easily just ulted the other way around.
Oh, yeah.
So
just jump out.
I think it's a subjective call. I think it depends on what team you're asking, where their win condition is, at least what they think the win condition is.
A little bit. I think it was the right call just because of all the map control. That's really what Smite winds up being about. I think if you ask the professionals, Zapman going to jump in, Mez out, emiltoo gets the knockup, looking for the... He won't find the stun. Zapman, uncharacteristically off the mark. The stun from the mid lane comes through. Zapman doesn't even bother to use the purification, knowing that he's got the distance on emiltoo. So nothing gained, nothing lost.
Could have been a little bit more, dangerous. They have wards though, so they probably saw adapting going in there. He was trying to get the gank off together with the Neith ult and emiltoo. Probably realized, I'm not really in any danger yet.
Divios, very low here. Dimi not going to go for it. Instead, just clear the wave. Nothing really too much. And Eager going to shade over and farm a little bit. Everybody's here, though. Dimi's in some trouble if we see Eager jump on him at the blue buff. iRaffer's here as well, though. It will be a 4-on-4 if this is where the fight wants to happen. The Hunter's still in the long lane, and the Neith ultimate not available. So we're just going to have the hard move from mid.
Did Divios steal that? Oh, actually got that. That's going to be, a bit annoying for Dimi. He's going to have to back here and go back without any blue buff.
So different gods need the blue buff a little bit differently. We saw the Guan Yu yesterday absolutely just die without the blue buff. How important is blue for a player like Dimi on Bellona?
He's fine. He can clear the wave just fine with his bludgeon. He can just keep clearing it, everything with his big hammer, with the AoE and the death toll. He's going to be fine sustain-wise. Some Wukong though likes the blue buff because he can just keep poking, just poke all day, and it's going to be more beneficial for him.
Yeah, you want to talk about how much Sun Wukong likes to poke and things that enable that. Obviously the blue buff giving the mana sustain, but we see the meditation coming out, and he's building into a transcendence.
Transcendence and a breastplate there is going to make sure he can just bludgeon basically on a very low cooldown and doing actually a lot of damage.
Yeah, Sun Wukong's going to be able to use his abilities whenever he wants. So much mana being built on here. And that Transcendence is also going to allow him to do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So much power on that item.
So big mana pool there. Divios doing well for himself in his all-in.
He's going to get his own blue buff as well. No surprise there. And the game has one more time. It's slowed down just a little bit. Adapting is showing his face towards the enemy side of the map. He wants to see what he can do. 2-on-1 here. Divios in some trouble. Dimi and Adapting combining onto the solo lane. Not a lot of poke, so Adapting is in full commit. Here comes djpernicus, and there's the turnaround. Purification used by Adapting. Stunned out. Needs to find the last hit for the invincibility. Finds it anyway. Divios with the jingle bang. Dimi on retreat now. Aror coming from the left-hand side. Two players going to surround him. Stun. Aror has the ultimate available. Waiting for the right opportunity. Mez is out. Wants to make sure he needs it. DJ meets the jump over the wall. Neith ultimate's going to be purified. Slow onto the juggler, but Panthera responds. Divios is going to stun out him one more time. Here comes iRaffer. Jump on top. Aegis used. Divios going to survive by using the ultimate. And now 3-on-3. Aror finds Dimi. Two players on the left-hand side. DJ's got no more tools. If Yammyn finds the kill, this is all the mid lane.
Why hasn't emiltoo rotated around with his Apollo ultimate?
I have no answer for you. It's on cooldown. He tried to, but he wasn't able to make it all the way there.
I saw him pop it, and he kind of make like a circle around the Gold Fury. Maybe the call was to like not come here because he's lost anyway, and he's just too late. If he comes around, it might just be his tower gone too.
DJ completely used everything he had. He winds up using the Sanctuary. He winds up using the Purification. He winds up using the Ultimate. And as soon as he realizes he has no more tools, gets the hell out of dodge. Perfect play of the Arachne. 6 kills in total for Eager. Only 1 for Panthera. But still the lead very, very small. Just 1,000 gold separate these two teams. This is where Eager's going to try and stretch it out at the Gold Fury.
Without the Zeus, though, Zeus is the strongest. It's 3-1 on Eager. So he's doing a lot of damage to Gold Fury, but they don't seem to need him.
Yammyn's going to backflip out of here. He wants to look at it, but Eager now looking more for the fight than the Gold Fury, I think.
Yeah, they're resetting.
Half HP on the Gold Fury. They're ready. iRaffer coming in. But look at this. No ultimates available for Team Eager. Same situation for Panthera, though. Dimi's got his up just now, adapting as well. So Eager have to look out for the assassination jump. It's not really about the big team fight ultimates. It's really just about the individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. We see them trying to rotate around here, get the buffs. Panthera, though, recognizing this.
Yeah, DJ's going to pick up the buff, no problem. Good invade coming out from Eager, recognizing that they need to get something. If the Gold Fury's not going to be it, it might as well be the red buff. Now the Gold Fury started one more time, but watch out for iRaffer. Bacchus, one of the best characters to steal these objectives.
Yeah, it's not going to be free, this Gold Fury. Either they're going to trade a tower for it or 2, or they're going to have to take a fight here. So Panthera not looking to give anything away.
Aror just going to play it safe. The ultimate's all available for Eager one more time. Everybody ready to fight. Best in position. Look at the way the Best sits up all the way back while the rest of the team pushes up. Divios will always be front and center while the Best just allows him to sit back, lean here, and then just launch the ultimates from afar. There's Aror. He's going to start it. Down comes the Rainstorm all the way out. iRaffer's chased. iRaffer's down. Aror gets credit for that, but adapting from behind. He's going to bring Best down, and he's going to fund the Purification. Wrong target, but adapting gets the kill anyway under the tower, though. Divios with 1. Emiltoo in some trouble. Yammyn as well. djpernicus going to find the exit on the right side, greeted by the jungler, and Zapman takes out Yammyn. Zapman's going to run away. Aror with the beautiful body blocks supporting his hunter.
Emiltoo going in for this Aror and Zapman here. Gonna find Zapman leaping away. Can he follow?
Yeah, Emiltoo, he's trying to decide what target he wants, and because of the lack of target selection, he might drop this kill. Zapman.
Yes, movement speed.
But the turnaround so beautiful. Misses, but adapting is way too beautiful himself. Jungler finds 1, 2 dead on the side of Panthera, but 3 fall for Team Eager. Eager still leading kills, but Panthera answered back smartly. And with the distance they've given themselves, down goes to Tier 1 Tower, an additional 500 gold for the Europeans.
And Tier 1 Tower in the million, as we mentioned before, is going to mean a lot of map control for Panthera, and possibly Gold Fury as well, if Eager can't get there on time.
I mean, with the Best ultimate down, djpernicus not exactly the guy that's going to steal it. This one has Panthera's name all over it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage going on. He's already at 30% here soon. Aror, can he steal? Nah, there's not much he can do.
I mean, he's just looking to sit here and do the best that he can. Panthera wind up with the Gold Fury, and Auror's got to get out. Like I said, the tools that Eager have, they're fantastic for team fighting. They're fantastic for assassination. They're fantastic for a lot of things, but stealing objectives, certainly not one.
So, excellent disengage here by Panthera, you know, taking what they can, not taking the fight. I just want to break down what happened in the million really fast. iRaffer just used his ultimate, only hit djpernicus. He kind of panicked. Then he kind of laser backed behind the tower at like, he was like 30% HP. They got jumped on. And, you know, Divios went in there really hard, and djpernicus ulted in as well on this Arachne, and he got a little bit caught out, so he died very, very fast. It was basically 4-on-5, but, you know, actually Panthera manages to find objective at the end of the teamfight, so kudos to them.
Exactly, and that's really the name of the game. You got to go ahead and you got to find the objectives. You got to find everything else besides these team fights. Panthera, they only have 4 kills against Eager's 9, but still find themselves up in gold by about 1,000, and that's just because of the attention that they're able to pay to the objectives.
Yeah, if you look at the stats again on Panthera's side, adapting the only one with kills, very similar to last game, and I'm wondering if he can actually pull off again here a complete carry of his team.
2-on-2 here on the right side. Eager gonna push down this tower. It falls down. 500 gold going the way of Eager. Nothing Dimi and adapting want to do. I say want, not can do. There was a fight that could have happened there. But Panthera choosing to save their tools for a bigger engagement. Like we said, the right lane solo tower, solo tier 1 tower, not exactly high on the list of objectives.
I think late game though, this is favoring Panthera. I mean, you have a Kuang, a Bellona, and also an Apollo on top of that with the Bacchus initiate. Very strong.
I mean, you've got a Ho-Yi and a Zeus on the other side.
True, true. But the thing I'm a little bit worried is Zeus. We've seen several times now adapting, actually getting back on the Zeus.
Dimi's surrounded.
Very fast.
Dimi's surrounded. He's got to jump away. Brute is strong, but as soon as adapting shows up, the tone of this engagement turns very sour for Eager. Belly flop into the Intoxicate. 3-man jump up, and Divios forced into the ultimate right away. Down comes a Thunderstorm. That's an excellent ultimate from Best, but they're all in the retreat. Dimi is in trouble. 25% as Divios' decoy bangs on him on the backside. Eager find their successful retreat, but they're all wounded. It doesn't look like they're in a good spot. DJ's healthy, wants to fight Dimi, but he's the only one. There's forward.
Here comes Zapman.
Divios is going to take out Dimi. Zapman gets credit for it. Off of the assist of the solo lane, and now Eager, 5 members strong, pushing forward, looking for the Fire Giant.
Yeah, this could be a similar situation. That, you know, Panthera's not expecting it, we're not expecting it, but maybe they could go for it. Nah, there's too much.
Fire Giant was too risky of a call.
Yeah, absolutely, too early.
Eager group up. They're going to go ahead and push up this mid lane tower. This is the much safer call, and I think this is new Eager. Last year, Eager go for the Fire Giant. Maybe they get it. Risk versus reward. This year, Eager go for the tier 1 tower. They get what they're given, and now everything tied up.
The best ultimate possible there for the best. Zoning out, actually, I believe he zoned out Yammyn and emiltoo from that fire with the ultimate. Zeus, perfect positioning from there. But, you know, adapting now, finding a tier 1 tower in the solo lane.
Yeah, so a little bit of gold swinging back in the way of Panthera. 500, give or take. Can we look at the graphs, actually? I feel like this one has just been 500, 500, 500.
Oh, what a combination.
emiltoo's in trouble. He can't get out of the Suns. Look at that. See you later.
That combination is disgusting. You're rooted in place, just suns raining down on you. What can you do? You know, if you have no dash available, you're pretty much dead.
I mean, you even saw emiltoo. He was just walking back. It was just riding on the wall. Put a pepperoni on my tombstone. I'm done. 40 seconds timeout for emiltoo. He's got to go back to base. See this one, though. emiltoo, we've seen this come out from a number of hunters, not just European, but also North American. The Soul Eater. Zapman's not doing it. Why don't you break that down for us?
Well, Zapman, I believe, you know, we talk about Zapman, how he transformed throughout the years. He's still very much Zapman, though, still. I mean, he likes aggressive builds. He likes to do a lot of damage and kind of be the carry still, but just in a safer way. We saw emiltoo pick up the Soul Eater yesterday, and we saw a lot of hunters to do it too.
Yes.
And I think it's a safer call. To me, it just says that Zapman is very confident in his own ability. He doesn't need this extra protection because he's just going to have good positioning anyway. And we see him at 3-1-3, sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's working out very well. And like we said earlier, I mean, the later this game goes, Ho-Yi is going to be very happy. Very happy. A late game Ho-Yi is a very strong god. You see him finish up the critical strike right now as well. So is Zapman going to be swinging for a lot and definitely going to be able to surprise some players with those giant crits as it goes on and on. 24 minutes into this one, folks. We had a very slow start, but it's been explosive here and there. Eager are leading by a whole bunch of kills, 11-4. But that doesn't mean much as the game is relatively tied here as far as the gold is concerned. Eager with a little bit of experience leads, Simon, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. It's basically 2 levels for Zapman above emiltoo.
Yeah, I actually just got the pepperoni reference you made earlier.
Took you a while?
It took me a while. I thought it was like an American thing. Maybe you put pepperonis on your graves or whatever. I just realized, you know, the rip.
Yammyn's going to go ahead and get rooted out. Eager get the Gold Fury, surprisingly. And now Aror might trade his life for it. Knocks up adapting.
We're done very quick here.
But so, let me ask you this. Let me ask chat this as well. Would you trade a support for a Gold Fury?
Yeah, any day. Of course.
I mean, that is absolutely, there is no question. If you didn't say yes, I don't know what to say to you. 2,000 gold in the lead from Eager just because of that play. That's Aror. We have the player cams. I mean, he's just sitting there chunking his face out. That's exactly what he wants. But Panthera answer in kind. Without Aror there, they're going to take out the tier 1 tower. That's fine. But a tier 2 tower, that'll even out the 2,000 gold swing from the Gold Fury. So Eager's going to be a little bit more aggressive here in defense.
Yeah, like you just said, I mean, sometimes it's actually support.
DJ takes a lot of poke. Adapting being blocked by Divios. Can't find the execute. Wonderful play by Divios to separate his jungler from the enemy. And Adapting won't be able to find the kill. Beautiful play by Divios.
Good beast there too. Adapting actually wastes his ultimate on a beast there. He doesn't really find the knock up and execute. So now iRaffer on the back foot here. Oh.
Jumps in place. That's a little rough. But Divios wasn't anticipating that. Kind of figured that iRaffer was just gone, so not there ready to get the stun and really do anything about it.
Yeah, it was weird. No one really. He just kind of jumped up in the air. I mean, he probably realized, you know, okay, he's just gonna leap away, just back off. You know, sometimes it happens. But yeah, like I just said, I mean, sometimes it's the support's job to just die for objectives. And I mean, that's just how it is.
And what
a reaction by adapting.
Ultimate, not going to be there. Adapting with the quick 180 teleport, not going to be found. Jumping away is Zapman, and now Dimi in some trouble. Down from the sky comes emiltoo. Mez is strong. Zapman going to be fine. And there's the sun. Dimi in trouble. Dashes forward. Not going to find much of anything, but Yammyn gets landed on by Divios. No ultimate available for the Monkey King. Keep an eye on Divios. He's very susceptible to death. Yammyn going to be stunned out by DJ. Looking for more damage. iRaffer in some trouble. And TheBest going to chase everybody on Panthera out. No kills, Zimstar. But it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be chased out. So this is a free tier 2, 1,500 going the way of Team Eager.
Everybody's so low on the side of Panthera. Couldn't quite find the kills, but like you see, a lot of times it doesn't even matter. They actually get the tier 2 tower anyway.
But see, here's the difference. So if players die, this is a fire giant for Team Eager.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With just pushing the players out, you literally force everybody back to base. So it gives them room to take out the tier 2, 1,500 again for Team Eager. Now we've got a little bit of a lead. 3,000 at the moment isn't a commanding lead, but it's a start. Now you have the opportunity to do something about it. Panthera's going to force Eager to fight them on the Fire Giant.
Yeah, Panthera, it's going down very, very fast here. Aror has to do something to stop this damage.
Aror's here, gets all 5 in a mess. Jump up and down. Panthera take out the Fire Giant. Adapting takes out Aror. Yammyn very low on the right-hand side, but Divios and DJ on the left. Adapting's going to re-engage safely to protect his mid-lane Hunter. Divios already half HP, has the ultimate available. Can pop up and does. Dimi, on the other hand, he's getting aggressive. DJ on the right-hand side. Everybody else, Zapman, TheBest, nowhere near this engagement. Divios drops down. DJ drops down. 8 kills in total for Panthera. All 5 members keep that Fire Giant, and Panthera on the front foot.
And again and again and again, we just see Panthera somehow getting the better out of Eager after this entire game has gone in Eager's favor. No ultimate though by Zeus, which is kind of interesting. He kept his ultimate the entire time.
There is one tool that Eager has at their disposal to defend objectives. We saw it happen before when they couldn't steal the Gold Fury away. It's just this Zeus ultimate. And without that, they can't take the Fire Giant. Panthera know that. They're down 3K. They don't care. They engage directly on the objective. With the Fire Giant, Panthera barrel down the right-hand side. Take out a Phoenix, no problem.
TheBest has to use his ultimate to just kind of defend his Phoenix because, actually just iRaffer dying so fast.
Rooted and booted. Best winds up with the kill. 12 in total for Team Eager now, but the damage has been done. Right lane Phoenix already dead.
To me, it did not look like Panthera was on the same side there because iRaffer went in and actually started tanking the Phoenix. While we saw 2 members of Panthera going right again, I think to the back harpies, and then 2 members backing off in mid. So iRaffer kind of left hanging there.
Yeah, just a little bit rough there.
Interesting.
Yeah, not going to find much of anything off of that one. Team Eager now, though. I feel like Team Eager had the momentum for the majority of this game. It was even for a lot, but Eager wound up with a lot more kills. And it just felt like a lot of the team fights were going the way of Team Eager. But now, Panthera, with that Fire Giant, I think that they realize that Eager just doesn't have the ability to steal anything from them.
Especially not without the Zeus ultimate there to disrupt.
There's no I'm a monster. There's no belly flop. There's just nothing that Eager has that can stop Panthera from taking an objective.
The only thing would be perfectly
Suns
timed.
and the ultimate out of Best and Zapman. That's it.
Yeah, Rama ulti could also steal it too.
Well done, Simstar.
Yeah.
Aror and TheBest gonna head back to base, and we'll see what they can do here as far as their gold is concerned. Panthera, on the other hand, they're gonna take the Gold Fury. So 30 minutes into this one, Panthera solidify a relatively strong lead for themselves. 3,000, but much more importantly, a Fire Giant around all 4 of their carries' waists.
Within the coming 5-6 minutes, gold is going to start mattering less and less here. Panthera are just looking to extend the lead. They need to push down these Phoenixes before. I mean, right now they have a little bit of a gold lead. It's not that much though, if you're looking like proportionate to the total gold amount on each team, right? So if this lead was 10 minutes ago, that's a huge lead. Now, not so much. The Fire Giant is much more important than the gold lead we have. Exactly.
The Fire Giant enabling these players to just push out. You can see the attention to the ward control to prevent the gank or the flank coming out from the teleport to wards from either player.
DJ, look at the flank here on the...
DJ's always looking to flank, and Panthera are aware. You can see Dimi playing protection there, making sure that nobody surprises them from the right side. DJ and Divios still here, however, and the ping's coming out. You can hear Panthera well aware that this is going on. emiltoo just playing it safe on the back.
Yeah, I think that, what I gathered from the last team fight, underneath the Fire Giant, right before they actually got it, Panthera is playing much like a unit. So you could see Yammyn having some trouble, you know, actually going in. He actually done the SWK with his ultimate. Immediately got help from emiltoo. Everyone just backed off. Just okay, let's just help Yammyn out. So they like to just keep themselves healthy and just help each other at all times. Eager doing a very good job of defending.
A fantastic defensive set right there. No ultimates used, to be fair. Panthera didn't exactly put all their cards on the table either. But TheBest just go ahead, extend a couple of chain lightnings and able to detonate and bring a couple of the members from Panthera down. Now with the sustain that Fire Giant brings them, Star, they're not looking to really push everybody out forever. They know the Panthera is going to sustain it. But right now, it's about running out the clock. And there it is. No more Fire Giant available. And so Panthera have to regroup, regress, and try one more time.
They have 2 hunters on Panthera. I mean, they're pretty good at actually knocking Phoenixes down in time. They just need to wait again, probably for the Fire Giant to come up, because they don't want to risk going in without Fire Giant.
Right.
That buff is very huge against Phoenixes, so.
I mean, just the ability to help kill some of the nonsense on the structures is really what the Fire Giant brings. The sustain is secondary, I feel. I guess it depends on the conversation, right? The sustain is excellent if you're trying to get in and get out, but really, the goal is to take out those Phoenixes. So.
Yeah, so you do that just back and forth. If you take a little bit, let's say you poke down a Phoenix, it doesn't really regenerate, so you take a little bit of poke, you back out.
Wow. Zapman takes a lot of poke there. Keep in mind, the Neith doesn't have crit available, so that's just hitting hard per hit.
Yeah, similar to the Unicorn we saw popular Season 1. Popularized by Arachne.
DJ gets jumped on. He's in trouble. Half HP already for the Spider. Able to make it up. So no death.
No death. Forced to use the ultimate though. So next team fight, I'm expecting Panthera to actually capitalize on this, saying to themselves, okay, there's no ultimate available for him. So if we catch him again, he's dead. And you know, he used his actives too. So he has beats available, but it's not really going to save him if he gets engaged on though.
And here's my problem with Arachne come late game. Does she fall off? Does her damage stop being relevant? No, absolutely not. But it becomes harder to deal because you have to be so up close and you're right here in melee range. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're surrounded. That's why we see the Bulwark of Hope, because DJ knows that he's going to get in trouble like that. But it just becomes harder and harder to be that assassin.
Look very good against Kuang too. Kuang is going to be the main factor here. If he actually finds Arachne without any actives, and especially with an ultimate, it's very easy to just burst him down. And so he has numerous targets to go from. He can choose from the best. Whoever has the worst positioning and the least actives available is going to be the target for adapting. And Eager could potentially play off of that, just knowing now, okay, there's no ultimate available for djpernicus. Let's try to set something up. I mean, we see them trap Panthera before at the Gold Fury.
Definitely possible. Eager now, trying to stop whatever Panthera want to do. They saw what happened last time. Panthera was able to just take the Fire Giant in front of their eyes. Eager not exactly with the tools to prevent that. Magi's Blessing on the Bacchus. I think that's so important.
Yeah, Magi's Blessing. Not an item we've seen a lot this season. It was nerfed, I believe, after Season 1 or maybe...
It was nerfed a long time ago, honestly, because it was just something that everybody basically had to buy.
Every single one.
And now it's more for the niche situations like this where there's a lot of options. And iRaffer has just been picked off. You see 4 deaths on the support, and so he finds the adjustment in buying the Magi's Blessing.
Also, it's not going to disrupt his burp, so he can actually just get a channel and make sure he gets a stun out before being stunned himself. So it's just going to be very good on Bacchus. It's really going to Guan Yu and all those channeling ability gods too. So pretty good pickup by him. We'll see what's going to happen next. This next Fire Giant is very, very crucial for Eager not to give away the Panthera, because that Phoenix on the right side is very low HP. It's already 50% HP from dying previously. Respawn. Fire Giant on top of that is just going to die in instant and then just go to the mid lane. And with the Fire Giant, I'm pretty sure Panthera wants to fight.
emiltoo on the left-hand side does have the Apollo ultimate available. Ho-Yi wanted to go say hi, but adapting shows up. So Zapman opts not to and goes right back to the right side of the map.
Interesting to see here, iRaffer trying to find a pick, or here we go. Dimi being stunned. Raffer actually getting the stun off we talked about before.
And there's the benefit of the Magi's Blessing. Now jumping up, stopping Aror. And that's good peel coming out from the support on the side of Panthera, protecting his solo laner just a little bit from 4 members of Eager grouped up here ready to fight.
Left side of the map, we see actually emiltoo pushing, you know, with Apollo. They're gonna force someone back there. This is a very classical situation where you have Apollo pushing and force a member back who does not have a global ultimate, at least a global, you know, repositioning ultimate, and they're gonna just force. Yeah, so Divios is there now. They can make the call easily. However, there's teleport available. So if they clear out the wards though, there is the possibility to clear out the wards enough for him to be too far away when he comes in and actually anticipate that. So we're gonna see what Raffer does. He actually finds djpernicus again.
He's gonna get jumped on, the stun's good, and right to the sky has to go DJ. Just not a lot of options. This time Panthera's gonna give chase. Aror with a good stun. And Neith ultimate will be channeled onto the
Wow, they're
support.
going in there.
Aror
Apollo.
gets jumped on as well. There's a teleport coming out from the monkey. And this is trouble. Adapting goes for the execute. Looks for one. Doesn't even have to use the ultimate. Double kill still available. But DJ returns. emiltoo on the left side of the map. Keep that in mind. 3 members mezzed, 3 members rooted. But it's a support and a solo laner. What can they do against these 3 tanky carries? But here comes Zapman. Dropping the suns down. One goes to the sky. He'll land right on down. Yammyn, see you later. And now Aror gonna stun out one. Not finding it on to iRaffer. Eager respond with a fantastic team fight. 2 for 2, but emiltoo right up front on the enemy base, taking out this Firebird extremely swiftly. Look at the pen. You see the attack speed, the penetration. That's what Apollo does. He takes out the Firebird and he leaves.
Says, see ya, I got your Phoenix.
Yep.
Now you only have basically 1.5 Phoenix available. And 2 for 2 and a Phoenix, way worth Panthera. I don't think there's any dispute there.
Nope, not at all.
I was a bit surprised. I was kind of like, oh, you know, use the ultimate already. emiltoo, get over here because Divios isn't there. But recognize him, maybe you won't find any kills. Just get the Phoenix. It's a very good calculation.
Exactly. It was Divios and Aror. I mean, these gods. Sure, Divios has a transcendence, but at the end of the day, they're just not the hyper carries that you're going to be afraid of.
No, and actually, you saw Divios going to the soul lane, got pushed. He actually called for someone else to get over there. Zapman actually went to the soul lane for a brief second there, had to go the entire way back because Divios couldn't handle emiltoo on his own. emiltoo, you know, with sustain from the soul leader, very hard to deal with, especially with Divios, who built, you know, semi-tanky-ish. He's not really going to be able to out-damage him. So, good job, emiltoo. Very, very good call. That just shows experience, you know, shining through here, recognizing how much damage I can do to Phoenix.
Aror here pushing up with djpernicus on the right side. Ping coming out. So Panthera are aware what's going on. It's the ping on top of Dimi. So eager. They don't want to get surprised either.
Some people might be thinking, why did Aror take the entire wave for himself? Gold does not matter anymore. He just wants a level 20 for his last point in his ultimate ability. It actually does a lot of damage. As we Aror going in here.
And Aror wants to use it now, gets knocked up and has to dash away just a little bit. There's the Odysseus bow, and right on top of the best. This is going to be trouble. Has to drop the ultimate defensively, but anyone from Panthera that wants to come through has to jump through it. And Dimi very low. No final hit. Adapting from behind. Can't find the ultimate. It's going to be used on somebody else. Adapting low. Apollo in the sky looking for the final hit. Finds one on the best. Yammyn finds 2 on his Zapman. Jumping away is Aror, but Yammyn going to find him as well. Passive is just going to last for the moment. Divios gets a stun. Going to take out Yammyn. Wonderful play, but emiltoo doesn't care. Final hit onto Aror. Divios low, DJ low. There's a knockup from iRaffer. DJ's down, adapting credit for that one. Yammyn the only one dead. 4 players dead for Eager. Panthera gonna take out this Phoenix. I think this can be the game.
This could be the game. They have no minions available though. I'm a bit, maybe iRaffer can actually tank this up with Dimi. We'll see. I think they're just gonna go for the Phoenix. They go for the safe play. The death timers though, 35 seconds.
Yeah, there's so much time available for Panthera to play with. Half a minute on everybody plus. On Eager, they're going to be sitting out. Divios is going to fall as well. All 5 players are grayed out, and Panthera going to look for the top. Going for the Titan, and that's game. 2 wins to none. Going the way of the Europeans. They need 1 more to take it, folks. 15 to 15 read the kills, but the win is anything but. Eager dropped their 2nd game, and this one was a bit more devastating. Panthera looked exactly like they expect to be, and like the team that won Worlds.
I must say though, Eager actually putting up a little bit of fight there, trying to slow the pace of the game down. We saw a very similar game 2 to game 1. However, it was kind of more drawn out. That entire kind of snowball thing towards the end came much much later off of 1 team fight. And we mentioned that earlier, this is going to be 1 game, just comes down to a late team fight, which just means a win for either team.
If you're an Eager fan at home, I think the biggest thing that you want to take home is the fact that adapting was neutralized here. He did a lot of work early. We saw the 4 kills come out very early on, 4, 1, and 1 for adapting. But later on, it was just not as effective. The ultimate was being blocked. The ultimate was being meditationed out. The ultimate was being purified out. And just what adapting was able to do in game 1 that was devastating wasn't there.
No, especially not towards the mid game. He never really find those skills to snowball. He did a lot of work late game. I can't really remember his stats right now, but he did carry the team somewhat in some of these situations. But this was more of a team effort from Panthera. It wasn't the adapting show, right? So, you know, game 1, I would definitely give the MVP to adapting if I could. This game, not so sure.
Eager discussing it over. That's the Hunter Zapman standing up right there, and the captain djpernicus just giving a good listen. And this is one of the things that I think has made Eager so successful over the course of the year. You can see that's Coach Ballistner in the back. He's been lurking in the shadows for a long time, but finally able to join the team at LAN. And I think he was a part of their success yesterday, where I think we saw some of the best play possible from them. And in order to emulate what they did yesterday, they've got to find some more wins. Looking at the breakdown screen here in the postgame, I don't really see anything that jumps out that I want to fix. I think we're just seeing two extremely top-end teams go head-to-head, and a little bit more mechanics are coming out on the Victor side.
Yeah, Eager definitely putting up a great show here for us. I think it's so close, right? It's not, I mean, 83-9, that goal doesn't really matter anymore. It just came down to the last team fight. And Eager just, so TheBest got a little bit caught there on the Zeus. Dimi found the stun on top of him. And then they actually did a good job zoning afterwards with the two ultimates, Zeus and on the Huyi. But, somehow Dimi gets out of all that. He actually survives, comes back in, and he dies later, I think, but no, actually survives, and they manage to clean up Eager.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what we saw was just a lot of success coming out from both these squads. You saw those the bars on the graph just wind up being relatively the same size. Again, djpernicus is going to contribute a little bit less damage because he's contributing a little bit more control, and I think that's okay. That's just the play style of the squads. Eager, they need to figure out what's going wrong. We saw them adjust in game number 1. All right, adapting went crazy on Kuang. Even if he gets it in game number 2, let's try to mitigate some of the damage that he did. And it was successful. We didn't see adapting go completely crazy in the Kuang. It was more a team game. 9-2-4 on Kuang jungle. Those stats, I think, are a little bit more deceiving because we just didn't see that bang, bang, bang that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, as I said, I mean, towards the late game team fights, he definitely did his job and carried. But that's basically what he's supposed to do on Kuang. It was to see a play here from him.
Yeah, he's going to come. This is really what wound up happening the most.
Look at this.
These flanks. And see, the protection from Aror, that's what I'm saying. Adapting still winds up with a kill, but there was more attention to avoid these aggressive ultimates, because if Adapting goes up, gets the ult, now he's in a position to see the team fight, get more information, and then jump down on whoever's in trouble.
Adapting actually managed to find a kill anyway there, which was a perfect play by him, realizing, okay, I missed that with the ultimate, which is, it is what it is. But here he finds 2 kills. I believe he actually, no, he doesn't chase down djpernicus.
Nah, he's going to turn and help out his teammate here.
Oh,
you can see somebody's trying to take down Aror. And he's going to catch Zapman
he finds
right
Zapman here, yeah, and Aror gets out later on, yeah. So, interesting game there. The trend here for Eager is, okay, this is going to be weird to say, but the Eager trend is positive for me. If you compare, so if game 1 is like, that's the start, right?
Yeah.
They did better this game. And if the trend keeps positive, they're lucky this is the best of 5, because there's the possibility that actually Eager manages to stay on this trend and give Panthera an even harder time this time around, which could translate to a win. And if the trend then continues, that's a 3-2.
I completely agree. And that's sort of why I think that Eager is still very much in this game. You can see them on the big screen just discussing everything. The Chunk himself just trying to break it down for the team a little bit. And one of the things I was getting into earlier is the fact that I love that this team is always, it's a constant discussion. Captain djpernicus isn't dictating everything. They're looking up to Ballistner, they're listening to Zapman, they're listening to what Aror says, because in a game like Smite, everybody has a different vantage point. Everybody sees something different. So while Aror says, yeah, I'm body blocking these ultimates coming out from the jungler, I'm in the way, Adapting's not getting it done, DJ's able to say, yeah, but he's still teleporting away and blowing me up anyway. How can we fix this? What can we do? So many different mindsets, so many different ways to approach these situations. It requires a team conversation a lot of the time.
Coaching and leading is, I think, much different than people actually believe. It's not like they sit there and dictate the picks and bans and they dictate how people should play. You have players who are the top in the world, right? This is one of the best players available. They know the matchup themselves. They know what works and they know what doesn't. So I think a lot of the coaching and leadership is actually making sure that the mindset of your players are intact and just keep a positive attitude. It's a lot about just knowing the people you work with and not just numbers and statistics. And I think that, djpernicus, you could see that he was just listening to his teammates, trying to get information as well with the coach there, trying to figure out, how to break Panthera. It's no one's done it yet since while you have it 4 times online, doesn't really mean that much.
Exactly. The online regular season is so much different from these LAN experiences. And honestly, players like Igor are usually the guys that thrive in this sort of situation. Like we said, djpernicus right there, a ton of experience at LANs. This time he brought his own water that doesn't taste like rhubarb and elderberry, so he's going to be in a better spot. But the experience at LAN for djpernicus with his CS career, and then all these guys, honestly, TheBest used to play for Dignitas with Zapman. They've gone to China, they've gone to Europe, they've gone to Atlanta, they've been all around the world playing Smite. Aror has done it himself. Zapman obviously in the same conversation with TheBest. And Divios on the young end still saw tons of success on TSM and then Cog Red a little bit later. So these guys, they're all experienced in what they're doing. But Panthera, quite literally, they won the World Championships last year.
Yes.